So gum paste roses are something like this. I have a golden one right here. It can be of any color, and this is the approximate size that I'm holding in my hand. There are a few things that you need to create gum paste roses, namely, of course, the gum paste of the color of your choices, and try to get a container with cover so that the gum paste don't dry out. So whenever you need, get an amount out and cover the rest of it. All right. And also you would need some shortening to moisten your hand and the board that you'd be rolling your fondant into, gum paste into. Some edible glue. Any kind of edible glue is fine. The one that I have is made from gum paste and water. Then some cornstarch and powdered sugar for dusting some surfaces, namely the sponges that you're going to roll the petals into. Then a toothpick to set the roses into, especially the base, which is something like this, and we're going to see how to make that. If you do not use a toothpick, if you need to for the flower stem to be bendable, you can use flowerware. Let me bring a flowerware to show you. Give me a minute. So something like this. So you would make the base here and twist and bend if necessary. So the one that I'm making is quite basic. The weird one would be advanced. All right. Thank you, Tazin Saida, for watching. So the basic small ones, that's the aim of tonight. And you'd need a board with plastic cover. If you don't have a board like this, you can use any cutting board or anything and just put a plastic saran wrap or something to cover the cut, rolled and cut gum paste. Some tissue, facial tissue if you need. Then these are called flower formers. So when you are done making the entire flower, it's gonna be quite soft. So if you don't put a strong base, don't set it on a strong base, it's gonna fall apart or spread or not look real. So when you're done, you're gonna put it like this, and it will dry this way and become solid. And something like this to store it until they dry. Okay, if you don't have the flower former and the stand like this, you can use foam cups, and any aluminum foil shaped into something like this would also work. All right, so these are the necessary things, and the tools we will use are a small rolling pin, right, preferably with the 1/8 inch mark ring and 1/4 inch or 1/16 inch ring that are put into the rolling pin. These are not necessary, by the way. You can just guess or measure as you go. And we would need a ball tool for the petal to soften at the edge or narrow at the edge. We'll take a look at as we go. And when we roll the gum paste, sometimes they form bubbles. So when they do, we can use a pin or a tool like this to burst the bubble, okay? And we need some kind of cutter to cut into the gum paste when they're rolled out as needed. And the glues that I showed you, we would need a brush to apply the glue. All right, then these are the rose petal cutters. These are plastic ones that I have. Any metal cutter for gum paste is better than plastic ones, but this is the one that I am showing you. I have for like 20 plus years, and it still works. The metal ones are better in a sense that their cut are more neat. All right. And this is a calyx cutter. The calyx application, if I don't have time, I will not show you. I may show it in a picture in some other time. All right. So what we need to do first is to roll out the gum paste. For that, we would need to apply shortening to the board first. A thin layer of shortening. By the way, when you use gum paste or fondant, you should not wear nail polish or any rings or any ornaments so that it does not get applied to the gum paste or fondant. Sometimes they make a mess. All right. Then apply the shortening and then roll out the gum paste. So the gum paste, you're going to use colors. Gel colors are good for gum paste. Or if you want to make a white flower, that's fine too. The reason I'm not showing white here is that across the white board, you may not be able to see properly. All right. So first we're going to make the base or the center of the roses. Any kind of flower petal are fine, and the base could be white. That's also okay. But I'll show you the colored base so that you understand better. All right. I'm just taking a smaller piece and roll it out to make the base first. If I need, or if I feel that the gum paste is a little bit dry, I'll just add some shortening. All right. So rolling the base is about a 1/4 inch thick, okay? And if you look at the petal cutter, there are 3 sizes. For the base to be uniform, if you are making multiple flowers, you would need the smaller cutter and cut a portion. Then roll it into a ball. Then make a teardrop shape by pressing it at one end, something like this. All right. Then get a toothpick, if I can get it out. There. And dip it into the glue. Get the excess out. And press this about halfway along the teardrop shape. And after you make this, you're going to dry it completely. I dry it for 1 week, but 3 days could be sufficient. Then after they're completely dry, you move on to the next petal forming. Okay, so you can make a foam brick by wrapping aluminum into a foam brick, and this way they would remain straight as they dry. Okay, all right, I'll just let it dry. And the other bases that I have that I made before, I can work on those. All right. So that's the base. We need the larger petal cutter, and we need 3 petals from this. So we're gonna roll it out thin, like 1/16 of an inch, even thinner. It's almost like transparent. So I took the 1/8 of an inch rings out, and I'm gonna roll this thin. So thinner than the 1/16 even, so something like this. Very thin. Need to make it a little more thin. So we need 3 for 1 rose. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right. Hello, Akhtar Hussain, thank you for joining. So when we cut the flower petals like this, we need to slit the petals in between to make separate lines. Thank you. Something like this. It doesn't have to be perfect, but petals need to be separated. All right. And once we're done, since they dry out very easily, we're going to use the covered board to store the petals and work on one at a time. That's our second row and the third one. All right. Thank you. So when we're done with this, we need to do a few things. First, flip the base and put some glue around the wider part of the base. Okay? So that the petals can adhere to it. All right? I would say about halfway, like this. Then thread the, oh wait, before we thread, we need to work on the petal edges. All right? We're going to powder the thin foam. Place the petal on the foam and try to flatten the edges. When you do that, the edges will flatten and curl up. The idea is to have the natural look of flowers, right? So that's what we're trying to do. All right. There. Now we can thread this on the upside down base. Okay. Something like this. Okay. Then if I show you this way, you see that we have 5 petals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we say that the one petal at the top is the head, these 2 are the arms, these 2 are the legs, it will be easier to understand to assemble. Okay? So glue a little more and try to do the head first. So this will be, the first set of petals will be the rose bud. All right. First, then one arm and one leg. One arm, one leg. Try, if the base is a different color, try to cover the entire base with the first petal. Okay. Then another arm, another leg. Press the wider end. So this is our rosebud. Okay. Mr. Akhtar Hussain, thank you for sending star. Really appreciate it. All right. So we'll let it rest with the flower former and work on the other 2 sets of petals. All right, again, making frills and curls on the petals. With the powdered thin foam. All right. Again, put glue. This set of petals will be slightly wider. Head, arm, leg, arm, leg. So we're gonna press gently around the middle section and slightly open the petals, right? Like this. Let it rest on the flower former and work on the last set of petals. Same way first, then we'll do something different, okay? All right, now we're gonna move on to the thicker, lighter foam with this one. And using the ball tool, I'll press on the center and let go. It makes a small dent here, right? So with that, and it kind of like opens the rest of the petals, right? So we're gonna glue around the base again. Thread it again. And we're gonna let this set of petals remain kind of open. That way, we can use our fingers to let it open. So we're gonna try to let it dry like this with our petal former. All right. I'm kind of running out of time, so I could not show you the calyx, but I'll definitely post pictures. So it's gonna dry like this for about 3 to 4 days, and it would become usable, okay? I can show you the finished dried one that I have that is golden. All right, and you can use it in cupcakes and cakes. All right, thank you so much for joining and supporting. I'll definitely post some pictures, and this live will be available on my page also. All right, thank you. Thank you, Tazin Sayeda. All right, good night. See you next time.